to let everybody know that you guys are. Hello, everybody. You're probably seeing us. And let's do a tweeter. Call it Day 1 Recap and Day 2 Predictions. Or something. Tweet. I just tweeted. So.
Are we live?
Yeah, you guys are live. Go
Hey,
ahead.
everybody.
Hi.
See me? I'll pull this up so I can see it.
So, we have Jack Ballard and Matt Beasley here.
Matt Beasley, the winner of the AOS
West Coast GT.
West Coast GT
Yeah.
was 2 weeks ago. Won it with Zeech. Something that's not supposed to be good right now.
Not supposed to be good,
He
but
pulled
you know.
it out. Pulled it out. I was playing for second place at one point before I lost.
What did you end up in record-wise?
I was 3-2. I lost
Okay.
to 160 Plague Monks.
Yeah. It's not great for shooting.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But it was a good game. The guy was a great guy, Alex
Yeah.
Little. Yes.
That's who I played him in round 4.
Yo.
Yeah. He was a super nice guy.
So with AOS math, you were better than me. Yeah.
Well, except that today that's the opposite because you said 3-0. I was
Yes.
1-2. So
Yeah. What Coast was in the past. So
Now
let's
we're
talk
gonna
about
talk about, yeah.
Riptide, which thank you for Blue Sky and Game Wizard, right? Game Wizard and
Blue
It's
Sky
two names.
Hobbies and Game Wizards.
It's the Game Wizard and Blue Sky Hobbies.
Yes.
This venue is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
It's
amazing.
really like this massive store with multiple floors. It's a great tournament venue.
It's Bremerton, and so it's a ferry ride from Seattle, or you can drive around the bottom like I did. And I picked up my brother, and this is. Oops.
Well, I'm gonna get beer on Ricky's map.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, these mats are. Do you guys sell these?
Not yet.
You guys.
Not yet.
Yes.
I gotta get approval from my boss to.
In general, the core thing about these mats right now is to just constantly judge everyone not using them because they're just so much better than not
They
using them.
are, especially for a tournament setting, these mats are amazing. Everything, what you probably can't see, when you get close, there are little gray lines that, like, for everything you need. Like, right here, see? This is this quarter of the map is perfect. A foot up and a foot over, right where an objective would be, perfect. And, guess what? 6 inches over, where those 18 inch objectives are, right there. Oh, this line all the way across. And these are amazing. I think you will sell dozens of these if you.
At least a dozen.
At least a dozen.
Yeah, people in Europe, and then you'll have to get the
Start shipping
exorbitant.
to Europe.
Yeah, you'll make no money off that.
Yeah,
But
the
you'll make
shipping to
people-
Europe
yeah,
is. Yep, nope, just
you'll
won't do
make
it.
people so happy, and you supply all the tournaments. But these mats are awesome.
Yeah.
And but so anyway, back to.
So you're playing on this, so that's
Yes, I'll be playing this tomorrow.
Yeah.
When do we start? 12?
12. I don't know. So 10.
10.
10, okay,
Probably.
yeah. 10 a.m.
I'm
So-
guessing 10.
So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about day 2 pairings, and that'll have us end up talking about round 1,
Yes.
right?
Round
Or rather, day 1.
Yeah, they-
So we just start at the top.
yeah, let's go.
Let's talk about your pairing because so you've gone 3-0. What have you
Yes.
played so far?
I have really lucked out because it's all about matchups in this game, and I play a very, very heavy shooting Stormcast list. Anvils of the Hellhammer, so I can shoot in the hero phase as well as shooting phase. Lots of long strikes. But anyway, I play Beast Claw Raiders, who are in the best. I call them the king of the casual games.
Yeah.
Because if you are just rolling dice with your friends, that 2-up 6 mortal wounds seems like the worst thing in the game. But when you get, when you learn the game a little bit, you're like, okay, what's your threat range? Or you move this far.
This is an 18-inch range, right?
Yeah,
So it's move plus 18.
Move plus 18. You can't run and shoot. And so my guy has a 30-inch range, and 18 plus 6 is not 30. So I just sit right back there.
Right.
And once you put some wounds on him, it goes from 6 mortal wounds to D6 mortal wounds, and that's a huge difference.
Right. It's
And
basically
so-
half.
Yeah, and the guy I played, Pete,
Yeah.
great guy. He's only been playing a little while. This is his first painted army, and nice guy. But but again, if you come to a tournament, and you have to hamper your expectations has to be different because it can be not fun
Yeah.
if you just think, oh, I have this. I buy a couple of start collecting boxes, and you go to a tournament, and then you face something that's like, oh, it works like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, but he was a great guy. And it was like table in like 30 minutes.
So you played. Who did you play round 2?
Round 2 was again
Michael
Core.
Hammond.
Yeah, Mike.
Is that Triple Bloodthirster?
Yes.
He's still doing well.
Yeah, yes, but Core's not fast.
You wait, hold on. You got 3 Thunder Tusks to shoot at,
Yeah.
and then you got 3 Bloodthirsters
Yep.
to shoot at, and then you got 2 Terror Guys to shoot at.
It's this new the setting. This match.
Every single time you have multiple large
Yeah.
monsters to shoot at.
I've lucked out. My path to 3-0 has been
on the back of
yes,
Monster Killer.
yes. I've been so lucky. It's not lost on me how fortunate I've been.
That's great.
Not to fight Nighthawk, not to fight Fire Slayers, not to fight Deepkins, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had a very, and so I'm enjoying myself off the backs of people who can't get to me.
So that's a good segue. So you're playing on table 1 tomorrow. You'll be on the stream
I'll be
at
on
like
stream.
probably 10-ish.
Good.
We'll call it 10 against Deepkin. So
Yeah.
this is a Deepkin list that it actually has some infantry in it, right? Like
Has some allies as well.
it's not the entire Alpha Strike list.
Nope. And the mission we're playing is very interesting for Stormcast and Deepkin. We're playing Total Commitment. So we have to have all our cards on the table.
All your cards on the table and you're
Yeah.
divided in 2.
Well, is he even taking like what's his Deep Strike? I don't see the character that lets you Deep Strike.
You can Deep Strike.
Is it the Soul Spire that lets you
I
Deep
think
Strike?
so. Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he can bring his eels on late, but we both have to start with stuff on the table. So
Everything is on the table.
yeah, and
But he doesn't have the. Does he have the stacking command? He doesn't have the stacking command.
he doesn't even have a War Score Battalion. He's just-
So I don't even understand. Like to be honest, I don't understand how this list works because it's
it's
clearly doing well.
It's those eels.
But the eels have a low attack volume, and usually I've seen them buffed by the guy that's like cumulative plus attacks to the eels. But that's not here.
The eels are nasty.
They're nasty by default.
You have the defensive eels and the offensive eels. They have that once per game. Sure, it's once per game, but it happens in the charge phase where you zap, and the average is about mortal wound per eel. And so and they're so fast. I think they're 16-inch movement, and they have a character where you can point at somebody and get +3 to their movement, and then they're re-rolling charges, so they're going to get and they can fly. So they're getting where they want to get. Their bases aren't that big. They're small cavalry.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean the allies. I mean this makes sense. He's got 2x10 Eternal Guard. He's basically like everything in Deepkin is expensive.
Yep.
I'm gonna take 2 cheap objective grabbers. Eternal Guard are quite durable for their points.
And just like he has those Eternal Guards,
That's
I
why you're
have,
at Skinks.
I have 2 units of 10 Skinks. He would take Skinks if he could.
He can't
He can't ally with Skinks. I'm Stormcast.
Stormcast can ally everything, and Melee ally everything.
Yep. So, like, yes, there's just bodies.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a tough battle for me because I have a heavy shooting list.
So explain. So that's a problem because of Deepkin's special rules. on
Yes,
shooting.
I have to shoot whatever's closest to me. So he can put stuff he wants. He's fine with being shot, and I can't come down.
Wait, that's their special rule.
That's their special rule.
So
Yeah.
he gets to decide what gets shot.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it's a relatively elite, non-rend immune army. So like.
Actually, the defensive eels are random, but unlike ethereal, you can make their saves improved. So he can have a 3-up save and cover and not be immune to rend.
And then you still have to shoot them.
And I still have to shoot him.
And on total commitment, he's going to know where you're shooting.
Yes, he's gonna know. But I do have some movement.
You can tell.
And then
Yes.
this table has a couple forests.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you can actually.
They moved that forest. That's not where that forest
Oh,
goes.
yeah.
That's not correct. That's not correct. It should be here.
Oh, perfect. See?
So you have a couple forests
Yeah, I like
to deal with. There's a lot of.
I moved that table, people,
lot
because I
of
set up in the first
obstacles.
place. Someone moved
So
it.
yeah, there's going to be a lot of things to get covered.
Beautiful terrain. Where'd you get this terrain?
This is tabletop world terrain from Croatia, I think. Yeah. And then this is the GW stuff in GW Woods. Yeah. And I think the barrels are micro arts.
thought they were tabletop world, weren't they? Not. No.
That's us.
So okay, so you're gonna play that round 4. What do you think's gonna happen? Do you outdrop him?
I'm
You probably
hoping
do.
he gets alcohol poisoning tonight.
Yeah.
He likes to drink. It's like, I think
There's always that to look for. Huh?
Okay, you do outdrop him.
Yeah, yes, I do.
You go first
So,
or second?
he gets to choose.
Oh, no, wait.
Because I have 12 drops.
You have 12. Oh, he outdrops
Oh,
you.
because you don't have a battalion?
I
You
do,
have-
but it's only 3 of my things are in the time.
Oh.
You have 15 drops before that?
Yeah,
Or 14, I guess?
yeah,
14?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's
Crazy.
Like, it's either you go first or you don't.
Right.
And it's like,
And he's at 10, which I just assumed you had less drops than 10, because who doesn't? But you actually.
I do.
All right.
Well, Stormcast is like, they're a jack of all trades, master of some. And they're really good at everything except for drops. Like
Right.
every battalion they have only
Would you
incorporates
take
one or
like a
two.
Grift Town to be able to deep strike more things?
That was a different list.
Okay.
That was a different list.
You have 14 drops without the Grift Town.
Yeah, I have. My old list I had because I added the skinks because
Oh, right,
so
yeah,
I had more because it's just you're gonna go second and like so if I get
You're
the
gonna go
double
second.
turn-
You would prefer to go first? I guess
No,
you
I'd
are.
rather go second because
Yeah.
if I do get the double turn,
Isn't he gonna force you to go first? I'll bet he can force you.
I bet he does force me
Yeah.
to go first too. I think he will because he's an amazing player. Matt Pashby, he's a #1 ranked ITC player, and he got second or third at LVO this year,
Oh, okay.
and so he's an amazing player,
Okay.
and he knows what he's doing.
If he forces you to go first, what is he going to do? Is he going to backline or is he going to?
He's gonna probably protect his stuff,
Yeah.
so I have to shoot at whatever thing he wants me to shoot at,
So you're gonna
and
shoot some stuff, and
Shoot
then
some
he's
stuff.
gonna.
because he can get across very fast.
Right.
But you have the skink screens now, which are
I do.
great.
Yes, that's what I need to.
Yeah, you gotta
incorporate.
capitalize. So do you think you do like pairs of ballista with skink screens in front?
Yeah, because I have 3 ballista now. I dropped 1. And
Okay.
so I haven't really thought too much about it.
Alright.
I'm thinking, I'm definitely I know my skill level. I'm trying to get better. That's my
Okay.
goal is to get better. And I know a lot of my successes because of my list. I take something that people aren't prepared for,
Right.
and I show up and like, oh, you can do that. And that
Yeah.
was my favorite thing about coming to tournaments. It's like something I thought of. Not that some people look down on that list, and I've come to think, oh, it's like, oh, this is something I created, and I like to show it to people like, ta-da, see what I did.
Yeah.
And then going to tournaments, like I used to be like, oh, I would never take evocators. I'm like, no, you just have to. That's the best thing. It's not.
Yeah.
Are you taking navigators now?
No. But
No.
I used to have. I wouldn't have a problem taking them out.
Right.
No.
Cause it's just you don't want to like be a martyr or be like I'm you know you just
You're talking to the guy taking trolls on purpose.
yeah. Oh, man. But I'm also talking to the guy who
choice.
proved that Zinch is still good.
It's easy to make.
Yeah, people think Zinch is garbage now. That's what I like about shooting. People overreacted to Lookout Sir. I'm like, shooting's still amazing. Shooting is still really good. People thought it was Lookout Sir, shooting, take it out. But my long
That
strikes,
-1 really crippled everything.
yeah, my long strikes hit on 2. So Lookout Sir, guess what?
Threes.
I hit on 3s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's table 2. It's Chris Michelson, which is Zinch,
Yep.
versus Michael Hammond, which is playing.
The corn.
Corn.
Yes. And,
Oh, that is it the one with? Okay, it's not the one with all the anti-Zinch spells.
no, that he doesn't have. He actually doesn't have any slaughter piece. He didn't even bring the terrain piece, which hurt him in my game.
He didn't even bring the train.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because I killed all his demons, and he couldn't summon anymore.
So what do you think's gonna happen in this game?
I think Michelson's a very good player, and Zinch is, and the corn doesn't have the anti-magic that he
The
needs.
corn does not have anti-magic.
Yeah, and he has, but he's running 9 enlightened, and if you can get in there with the bloodthirster and attack first,
Yeah.
or Scarbrand and get,
I think it's about 2 bloodthirsters. So
What's
Michelson's
the,
got.
what's the realm tomorrow?
Yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So Michelson's got Lord of Change, Zangor Shaman. He's only got 2 characters, which is a little nerve-wracking. Because he can't summon when
He summons another guy on the disc.
once he gets to 12 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, in my game against him, he was just using Laura Life to just get stuff off. Just,
What do you mean?
or the
Just to resolve spells.
Yeah, he was like getting Flesh to Stone. And,
He's got 4 spells a turn.
Yeah.
So depends on what your opponent is, right? Corn's not giving him any points, which means the earliest you get something out of this is turn 3, even if he resolves all of spells.
I think he even might have not dispelled some so that I would get something off.
Yeah. But he's playing Corn, so there's no spells.
Yeah.
Right. He's got 9 Enlightened. I think what's going to happen is, if the Corn player gets 2 Bloodthirsters into the Enlightened at the same time, they're probably okay. But the problem is there's nothing in the Corn list that can one-hit the Enlightened that I see.
Well, if they can get more than one, because they have the ability with the War Score Battalion, as soon as one Bloodthirster attacks, another one can attack.
Okay.
And then another one can attack. So if you get a couple in there,
So if he gets 2 in there, he's going to kill it.
Yes.
But if it only gets 1 in there, I think that's going to be like, when you see Enlightened fighting Bloodthirsters, if there's 2 Bloodthirsters in the same Enlightened combat in the same turn, and the Bloodthirsters went in, that's probably the game. And vice versa.
But also,
because Michaels' list is very focused on, I mean, there's a lot of like, I don't know, I have found that Zangor block super underperformed. I've taken that same Zangor block and I feel like it doesn't really grind it out equal to its points.
I shared one of your nasty combos with Michelson, though.
Which one?
The Zangor Lighten in Full Reality.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't know about that. I was like, why don't you have that spell? He's like, what? He was like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, you're right.
Is that
There are
right?
demons.
Well, so the problem is to take that spell with Enlighten, you pretty much need Kairos
Yeah, to make it
safe, because otherwise you're gonna like lose all your Enlighten out of 1.
Yeah,
Which
either you time it to where you're down to 1 Enlightened,
right.
which is going to be
Or
hard
like,
to time.
yeah. But he doesn't have it in this list right now. He's using Firestorm and
Yeah, he had a
Limbs.
lot more, even more magic output, or like just mortal wound output than I'm used to Matt using.
really.
Yeah, it felt that way. Like, because he was casting just nukes and just nuking stuff left and right.
This is actually his first time bringing this particular list because he's been this season of tournaments, I guess. He's gone Zinch. He used to play Legion of the Gash,
Yeah.
and he hasn't had much success. He took the 3 Lord of Change list. This wasn't having that much success, but this time he's actually doing pretty well.
I don't know where Matt went. He just walked off.
There
you go. He's blowing his nose. You guys can, the whole world can hear.
The whole world can hear me blowing my nose.
Yeah.
Oh, it's classy stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I actually think the Zinch list has the advantage here, even though
Yeah,
it's
I do
look.
too. I feel like Zinch does good against punchy lists, and even though the Zangor might not be super killy, they are a good tar pit.
They are a good tar pit.
And
they
I
are a
think
good
that
tar pit.
I think they can stop the Bloodthirster.
But yeah.
I've got a question in the
Okay.
chat. Are the biggest unit bases pretty wide?
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. So if you could clarify.
Base is pretty
The
wide.
biggest unit base is pretty wide. What
What do you mean biggest units?
Guess. Anyway, well, yeah.
So we'll have to
Yeah,
answer
we'll
that.
answer.
So table 3 is Ricky Fisher versus Matthew Kanziger. And this is the list I played and had a really good round 1, very close game. I lost that. Now he's playing Ricky, who also beat me. Man, this is a dark day. This is 2 people beat me are playing, so one of them is going to lose. This is worse. That's the worst thing ever. You're ruining my tiebreakers by playing each other.
Sorry.
So
Ricky is.
I would rather not play this.
Ricky's over here. He's the camera's not on him.
So, Ricky, this is going to be a weird match for you. I think it's a really good match for you.
Well, it's tough because I've never played these guys. I've never played the Sylvaneth yet.
What a great reason to talk about
Yes.
why it's a good match for you.
So yes, please tell me why it's a good match.
So I lost to this because, and it was, again, very close game.
Yeah, so she flies, right?
Yes.
And
So she
moves far.
flies and she moves real fast. So I've played Sylvaneth 3 times now, and the first 2, I murdered Illyrial with Enlightenment.
Okay.
And my opponent was relatively conservative with Illyrial's movement, and I was like, it's a huge fucking beetle, probably moves 6 or 8 inches. Actually, moves 15 and flies. Apparently the beetle is a bunch of flying bugs until it lands. Yeah, who knew? Me now.
And it's also
So
when
15
Illyrial,
and then charge, right?
yeah, and when she lands on terrain, if you're next to that terrain, you take mortal wounds.
Alright, so we got clarification, just pause. New to the game, biggest army units could maybe place one next to the trees, like a Titan or a big leader like that.
The biggest stuff in AOS, like there's a dragon that's like this big.
Oh, what's the largest? Yeah, so the largest reasonable stuff is like a Greater Demon, which is about.
Tzeentch is like that big with the wings.
Yeah, a little smaller.
It's
but
about the size
there,
of this.
yeah.
Here, about the size
It's
of this. Just that's about the size of the
The
biggest.
base, here, we'll put the base, and then we get, there you go. Then you add some wings, that's a Lord of Change right there.
Hopefully that helps.
Got a pint glass with some tape and wings.
Yeah, that's about.
But that's really the biggest stuff. And honestly, most lists don't run multiple of those. You'll have like a big centerpiece model and then a lot of infantry or mid-sized
Yeah.
models.
So if you're at like a tournament, you're gonna usually see the best of the. It's gonna be the best
Yeah.
list, and so you don't usually don't see like goofy lists with 4 bloodthirsters or something like that because they have too many weaknesses
Yeah.
that will get exploited.
So we were at West Coast and I was looking at 40K and I was like, these people are playing Gundam. Like everyone's got 3 knights. It's just like
Yeah.
Gundam versus Gundam versus Gundam.
Yeah,
That's not generally optimal in AOS. There's some lists that are good, but that's an exception.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Ricky, the reason this is good for you is because the primary thing Sylvanas does that is really challenging is it blocks line of sight on the board.
Oh,
And
I have no shooting.
Exactly.
Oh, well, my trolls.
So that's
but
the first
they're
thing.
trolls, so they're garbage.
Their shooting is not good, right? So you don't rely on shooting. So Sylvanas is a real big problem for shooting armies.
Okay.
And then the second thing they do is they teleport around the board. And so when you're a relatively low model count army that has things that can get exposed to a unit teleporting to a different forest and then charging it, you're pretty vulnerable. But your massive blobs of mildly useful shit is quite good against Sylvanas because you are able to, just by board presence, able to prevent some of that. The challenge for you is going to be in the woods.
Yes.
Um,
Fighting Sylvanas on their terms.
they're going to have
in
2+
the
saves.
forest, it's tough because you get you're minus to hit them,
Okay.
and if you charge through the forest, you have a chance of dying. Like the old deadly terrain rules
Right.
are in effect in Sylvanas WoW.
How much damage is it?
Dead on a 1, just like old one. It's the old version.
Dead on a 1?
Yeah,
For the
roll-
model?
per
That's
model.
Yeah.
Oh, so I roll 60 dice and every one is a dead
If you get
goblin?
everybody through there. Yeah.
If you charge, but you walk into it.
Right.
So I think, but like the issue is, so Sylvanas is good against shooting, and it's good.
How much
At
something
teleporting.
does it do?
What?
Yes,
That
I
was
was
what?
just gonna bring that up. It's
10 dryads a turn.
Yeah, it's one of the only things where it still has a spell that can summon stuff, like old summoning where you can
Yeah.
cast spell. And Alario gets 1 free Tree Lord, Kurnoth Hunters, 3 Kurnoth Hunters, or 20 Dryads. Like she gets to pick, and you just get that. Kind of like Flesh of Quartz. Get one thing.
At the start.
At the start.
Okay.
That's built into her cost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the challenge for you is like there's going to be things that are just not really killable. Like the
Right.
Tree Lords immune to Ren 1, which means the Fanatics. Like I don't think you have a really good tool.
Fanatics are in 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, and,
So might be
Also are in 2.
Ricky plays Gloomspite Kids.
Yeah. Good point. So I think it's a good. I mean, for me, I felt like it was a pretty bad matchup because it was a very heavily terrain board, and then he added more terrain, and then I had a very hard time shooting him. But because you're not super focused on shooting him, and because you have enough mass that him teleporting around is not going to be super threatening, I don't think it's a bad matchup. I think the thing to remember that I did not realize is Alario can go at you top of 1 when you have a command point. Yeah, that was an error on my part, and I have learned.
Okay. Alright, well,
So I'm picking Ricky in round 3.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes, I agree.
I don't
Rick round
agree,
4.
but-
So what's 4? Is Cody versus Alex. Cody.
Alex is
Go ahead.
playing Legion of Sacrament, I believe.
Okay.
Very good player from Portland.
You guys never picked who was going to win table 1.
Hey, well, I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right
What
here.
do you think, Jack?
I think Pashmi's list is built to beat my list.
Really?
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. It's deep can anti-shooting. I'm pro shooting. He ignores he has guys that will ignore my rend, and it's like
So he can put the ignore Ren guys up front.
Yep, and I have to shoot.
And they're on a 3-up.
Yeah, the first turn they're on 3-up, and so 3-up ignoring Ren, and you put Mystic Shield on there. It's tough. It's a tough list. But,
Okay.
Yep, and so I've yet to beat Deep Canyon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of like my kryptonite, but I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. All right. So back to what are
We got Cody, who's playing a real ghoul heavy Flesh of Your Court list. He still has he's got the Ghoul King, he's got the Terrorgeist. And then we have Alex Gonzalez playing Legion of Sacrament with the 2x30 Grimghast Reapers. I think the Sacrament list is good here because it's doing the very efficient thing of just saying I'm going to run huge blocks of Grimghast and spend 1 command point to res them.
Yep.
And he doesn't really care that much if the Terrorgeist eats a block.
Right.
And also, it's not super effective for the Terrorgeist to go into a block. So I think if Alex is positioning well so that the Terrorgeist doesn't get into squishy shit, it's a real hard match for Cody.
Mm-hmm.
So then we got Robbie. Robbie is playing. He's playing the normal, what you would expect from Flesh of Your Courts. So two Terrorgeists. Or is it one zombie dragon?
Terrorgeist and one zombie dragon.
Okay.
It is Robbie. He's what I played round 3.
Okay.
And he has 2 Archregents, and just summons Flayers first turn.
This is basically the list we're used to from Rich Waters, except with a zombie dragon instead of a Terrorgeist for the second one.
So, if they get into you, it's chomp. It's like Pac-Man.
And he has a pseudo ASF on the second one via the Doppelganger Cloak, which allows you can't be attacked in combat for like the 1 turn until you attack. So it's like he has kind of double ASF.
It's definitely a list that my list is like tailored to be, where it's like I'm gonna shoot you with higher end and get out of the way and come to me. You just have to watch out because they do have the run and charge spell.
Yeah.
And he made the mistake of he cast it and he got right into my stuff, and then when you lose, you learn. And Rich beat me at West Coast playing the Bristlegore list, and he cast it, and I noticed something. I was like, something's not right, and I looked it up. He was way out of range because it's only 12 inches.
Yeah.
And he cast it, and the guy was like 18 inches away. And so I went, no, rewind, put it back.
Yeah, it's not in range.
Back.
Yeah. That's
And that was the change of the game right there. I was able to kill it clean after that. So I would have to go with Legion of Sacrament. Alex is a really good player. Not saying Robbie's not, but this is Robbie's maybe 4th or 5th game with this list, and Alex.
Wait. So this is Legion of Sacrament is playing against the other.
Yes. Okay.
Robbie's playing against Dirk Cole, who's playing.
Slanesh?
No, he's playing Nighthawks.
Oh.
And he's playing. We've got Guardian of Souls, Kurdos Valentine, Lady Olander, Behemoth Black Coach.
It's like all the hits, all the special characters, big black coach.
I mean, I'm probably missing something, but this looks like a relatively distributed list that's taking the named characters and black coach. There's a lot of like cool stuff, but it doesn't feel super powerful to me because it's like kind of MSU night. So real quick, we've got Guardian of Souls, the Craven King, Lady Olander, a black coach, 10 Reapers, 2x5 Blade Gas, 2 Chain Gas, 2x10 Chain Rasps, 2x10 Chain Rasps. But it sort of looks like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I don't see the focus, but I mean he's
He might be
doing
a
well.
hobbyist.
So
He might be a hobbyist, and this is the stuff he has,
Right.
and he's bringing it to a tournament.
Right.
But
Yeah.
doesn't seem too.
but I mean,
focused.
he's 2-1.
Yeah.
So doing well with it. It feels like without knowing how the other list works, feels like this the Flesh of Your Court list is a bit stronger.
Yes. This Flesh of Your Court list is tailor-made from that list, but it's good. Brock is good, and he plays it like
So the next one we have, it's Jeremy versus Amanda. Jeremy is playing
The new Fire Slayer.
He took the most OP unit in the new Fire Slayer spot and just took 50 of it and a bunch of characters.
And he was talking about how he's playing Fire Slayers before the FAQ.
No,
so it's like,
How did he lose a game? Like, what did he lose to? That list is gross.
He lost to Matt. It's just Star Strike.
Oh.
Sometimes you don't get the meteors.
Really?
Yeah, it's only past.
He lost to the
Deepkin.
Wow.
Just did the meteors in land where they're supposed to.
Huh.
And he ended up
I'm missing something. Like, there's clearly something about Deepkin that I do not understand.
Yeah, and Star Strike is just, that one really is so random. Like you could oh, that's just the one part of the board I can't get to.
Yeah.
Dwarves are the best.
especially I feel that with my goblins. It's not so bad now that I have Hand of Cork, but even with Hand of Cork, I can't guarantee it, so it's still pretty hard.
But like props to Matt because that Deepkin list doesn't look like it has ways to snipe off the characters to prevent those 4-up saves. So there's no way he was out grinding that dwarf list. I guess I didn't see the game. Like he must have just gotten objectives.
It's just objectives.
All right.
Because those dwarves are nasty.
So Amanda is playing
Triple A bomb.
Triple A bomb.
Around the corner.
Which, I mean, it's gonna hit some dwarves. I don't know. I mean, in anything except against a really weird match, that dwarf list feels very scary to me. Triple A bomb, good against light infantry, but it's doing wounds. You know,
It's
like.
like a lot of mortals.
But the thing is, okay, so when you go into a big block of infantry, if you go into goblins with 15 bombs, and you're in range of 15 goblins, you're killing 12 goblins.
Right.
When you go into range of 15 dwarves, which you're usually not because I'm 32, so you're like 12 dwarves, they have a 4-up invul and they have 2 wounds. So when you go into 12, instead of killing 10, you're doing 10 mortals, you're just killing 5.
Yeah.
So rather than murdering everything in front of you, you're killing like.
And all you have to do to really mitigate that, especially if you're on 32s, is just spread out.
Right. I mean, like that's best case scenario.
You're like, I'll eat the charge. That's fine. But then I'll pile back in and figure it out from there.
Yeah. I think Jeremy is probably feels like a hard matchup for Amanda to win because of the. Those dwarves seem really. I mean, everything you see is broken in the game, though. You know.
Especially I don't think Amanda has a lot of shooting, and with Fire Slayers, you got to get those characters out of there.
Right.
And you can't. I don't think she has any warp lightning cannons to just more.
No, she's doing full molder.
Yeah, full molder, and it's like.
Yeah.
It's a tough matchup for her.
All right, so then we got Leonardo Ortego. Somehow it keeps going around results now. Leonardo Ortego.
Seraphon.
What's he running? Seraphon
Seraphon versus Seraphon.
versus Joshua Ballard playing Seraphon.
Yeah. And it's interesting. My brother plays Seraphon very, one of those guys. I got a trick, and hopefully I can get this trick off. I'm gonna dump all these points off, charge in, and attack you with my heroes. I do have a doppelganger cloak, just like closest. And where Leo was playing more traditional, got tons of skinks. When you do all these objectives, I have slam. I'm gonna get summoning points, get more skinks on you, and it gets you with these Riptidactyls in my Engine of the Gods.
Right.
Where it's gonna be. I've played each other a couple times. Josh is won most of them. And I look forward to it because I hate Lizardmen and somebody's going to be sad when they lose.
And both of them are Lizardmen, so there
All
you
I know, they're both Seraphon, so there's going to be a lot of complaining about how their guys need more wounds. And as they teleport, they're going to be complaining constantly as they're getting objectives. Oh, we're so underpowered as they win Decepticon. Seraphon players love complaining. But they're due for a new book, so.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so the next one is me versus Rob Rowland. Rob is playing Nighthawks, which is Lady Olander. I haven't played against Lady Olander.
That's the new character, right? Like,
the more chocolate grief. Yeah.
Grief, yeah.
Guardian of Souls, Night Shrouds, 30 Chain Rasp, 30 Chain Rasp, 10 Grim Gas, 20 Dreadside Heritages.
Those are very cool looking models. People don't really take them. I think they hit on 4s, wound on 3s, negative 1 win, 2 damage.
What do they even look like?
They're women, so they're female, and they have like 4 hands. like Tyranids almost. The sharp, pointy things. Yeah, and like not many people take them. They look great, but there are no Grim Blade Geist or there's better choices to take instead.
So we got great Glaive Wraith Stalkers and a Black Coach. So I feel good about this matchup.
You want to go over your list?
Sure, yeah. Well, what does Lady Ollendorf do first? She's in all these night models.
She has a one of her things. She has a kind of a she lifts up her veil and does D3 mortal wounds, kind of like a 7-inch D3 mortal wound attack. She has I think she has a decent command ability, 7 wounds, 4 ethereal, 4 up save.
Oh, right.
I usually snap her out before she does anything, so.
So I can't go to my list, but I'll talk through it anyway. So I am playing the list of the models that Ricky had built for 8th edition Warhammer in Skaven. So it's a Grey Seer on a bell, a Grey Seer, a Warlock Bombardier, a Claw Lord, 2 Clan Rat blocks, a 20 block of Storm Vermin, a 40 block of Storm Vermin, 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, and the Warp Lightning Vortex.
You want to go over that vortex?
Yeah.
I've seen you use it today. Like you're masterful at it. That thing is brutal.
So you put out the first one fully within 26, and then this. So it's a spell that has 3 points. There's 3 different vortexes that go out, and you put out the first one fully within 26, and then you put out the next 2. There's in a triangle where the space between the 50 mil bases of the vortex are 7 inches each. What that means is, like, you could do it top of 1 and 26 inches up. I mean, you're like 7 inches plus 2 2-inch bases. That's 11 inches plus 6 inches of effect outside that. I mean, you're looking at a 23-inch damage radius into their lines.
Yeah.
So what it does once it's out is on a 4-up, it does D3 mortal wounds. On a 6-up, it does D6 mortal wounds to everything within 6 inches of one of the nodes. And when you're within 6 inches of multiple nodes, that 4-up goes to 3-up, goes to 2-up. 3-up with 2, 2-up with 3. So I don't know. It's terrible against Ricky. It was okay against Sylvaneth. I don't know if it made
I also
back.
spread out pretty well.
Yeah.
I was expecting it.
Oh yeah.
So he couldn't quite surround something and nail it hard.
What it tends to be good at is being like, all right, there's one supporting character in the middle of a pile of other shit, and I'm going to put down that vortex where everything is within 6 of that supporting character in the middle. And then on a 2-up, I'm doing D3. And then at the end of my move phase, on a 2-up, I'm doing D3.
Yeah, it pulses like as soon as you cast it, then everybody's movement phase goes off.
Yeah.
Unlike endless spells where you get to activate it at the beginning of the battle round.
Yeah.
This thing, initially it's going to go off 3 times and then 2 times every time.
The other thing about
it's a
it,
high cast too. It's
Yes,
an 8.
yeah.
it's an 8, so which means it's a 9 to dispel.
Yeah.
Also 100 points, so it's not like
Yeah. And usually you're casting it with pretty significant bonuses, so it's relatively likely to go off, but it's hard to dispel. So what usually you can do is you've got that character in the center, whatever the thing you're focusing on, you can't run out of it. When you start the turn in it, you can't run out of it. And so you're getting hit by 2d3, and then you're moving, you're probably getting hit again during your turn if you have a hard dispel it. So it's good at getting rid of the supporting character and just sort of pulsing out damage and area denial.
Can you not fly as well?
You cannot fly, yeah. Right.
So it's like I think there's some commonly call it the mousetrap. I don't know.
Yeah, there was someone who was talking about like putting it around the Lord of Change and like trapping him in, but it's too big because it's not like it's 7 inches or less between the nodes. It is
exactly
7 inches between the nodes.
Now is this your army, Ricky?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm sure if you're a fan of the Twitch channel, you've seen this stuff, but I've never gone to a tournament that you haven't won Best Painted at, including West Coast. And so these are amazing looking models, and especially your Boost by Gits are great.
Oh, thank you.
And want to say hi to Robbie? Kicked his ass around. No, I'm kidding.
That's true.
Yeah,
My Achilles heel.
Bless you. I'm just glad he didn't.
We were just talking about,
And his evocators. I'm so glad he did because I don't have an answer for that.
Robbie, we've picked you to win in round 4.
Yes.
Ooh. Well, I appreciate
Do you know who
that.
you play?
Yeah, I've got a Night Haunt list coming up.
You do?
Which is
What do you think?
It's a little crippling because I bring a zombie dragon.
Uh-huh.
So he's my Stormcast killer, which you killed first. So, and he's got the +1 Ren, so he comes through and he'll wreck house on like big Stormcast guys. But against Night Haunt, he's a little bit crippled.
Keep going. Good beat.
Yeah, perfect. You're all in.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
Robbie.
okay.
Go ahead. Tell us
So,
how you think you're gonna win or not.
and it's also, you're facing a death army, so death on death. The big thing is bravery. My flayers get in there, and my dragons and terrorists get in there. They don't really have range attacks to use.
Yeah.
So, total commitment, this is just going to be a brawl. Go in there, like the Chain Rast and the Reapers just hitting it, see what happens.
What was your first matchup?
So my first matchup today was a mirror match.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Flesh Eater Courts on Flesh Eater Courts. Proving Gristle Gore is the only way to go.
Yes.
So,
What's your opponent run?
he ran the normal delusion of Feast Day, so he gets to use the Blood Feast for free. So he gets to attack twice for free, but Gristle Gore gets to attack first and twice. And Gristle Gore also, one of the things that's kind of overlooked is they, on a 6, get an extra hit. And without saying Gristle Gore, you don't get that. So every time I roll a 6 on every hero, it's an extra hit
Yeah.
on anything.
Yeah, Rich is
Yeah.
once Rich remembered that rule, my army started crumbling.
Yeah, demolishes.
Yeah, he can just tear through 60 goblins in one go.
So there was-
Yeah, I easily see him changing his list of Gristle Gore up to that, because when he saw the 6s, we're just adding extra attacks to him and everything. He's like, oh man.
I noticed that you take the Stampede in a spell,
I
as
do.
well as Shackles. I enjoy this. I mean, I use the Stampede against you more than you use it.
That's true.
Because you kept going first. But it's like, I like it because you roll 6 dice, and every 6 is D3 mortal wounds. And not bad.
Yeah, and everything above the wound characteristic of whatever it runs over is a mortal wound. So yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
it's good. And it's fat. It has a big fat base.
Is
So,
it like the wall of flesh base thing, like the one from the
No,
original
it's
in
not
the
the long
spells?
one.
you know, it's almost that long, but it's a big fat round
Yeah.
oval.
Okay.
5 horses. Right?
Yeah.
Does that help it? That feels like it'd be a problem because you gotta fully cover the thing, right? Or you gotta fully clear
you're,
the thing.
you're just gonna nick it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
Oh,
can,
okay.
go up, come back, and there's some mortal wounds. But it's better as just a blockade. So if I'm gonna run my Terrorgeist in, and I know I'm gonna wipe out the left, I can sit it right next to it on the right. You can't pile into me.
Totally.
You can't go through because it's a model, not terrain.
It's a model, not term. Right. Right. All the spells are.
Right. So it's a good way to block. Same thing. The shackles are only 20 points. When I was playing my second round, I played against Slanesh, and
You've had it rough, like as
Yeah,
far as
it's
players.
it's
Everything
been-
has 10 bravery, so you can't shout at anything.
I've played Demons, Stormcast,
Oh,
and Death.
yeah. And then you play me, I have demons from the Skinks.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he's like,
and they're
what's the
bravery.
bravery? I'm a
Stupid
10.
too. The shackles, you can line them up for 20 points, just like a palisade.
Yeah.
So
Just a 10-point achievement. That's a really good use of those.
yes, so I lined it up like a palisade, and then I set my stampede, and then I set my chalice. So his 3 chariots were too fat
Oh,
to actually
that's a great
fit
idea.
through.
You can't
So
fly.
my little ghouls are just kind of snaking their way in there, but he can't
Running
actually.
between them and stabbing.
Right. Until the terror guys made his lap. He went and killed some demonettes. He came around from the back, killed all the chariots and everything else. So they were just stuck there.
That's a
They
good
couldn't
use
get
of
through.
those. I had seen those, and I keep not justifying them because the movement impairment is less than 24-inch threat range from the initial cast, and it's on 4 ups. It's not reliable.
Right.
But using them as a palisade that is less points,
Yeah.
that's good. It's smart.
So, and something like Fire Slayers, if they start there, they do get the 4 up, and they go from as a 4-inch move to now a 2-inch move.
Oh, the
And they're not
shackles.
going anywhere. Yeah.
Oh, Gregan shackles. And
That's a
the
6
vortex.
inch, yeah.
You're stuck there, bro.
Yeah. They're not going anywhere.
So what is the next matchup that we're going on? Oh,
Hey.
it's a TO.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey.
Hi,
what's going
Andrew.
on? You have to come to this side, Andrew.
Why don't you come to that side? I don't
Camera.
listen.
Yeah,
Camera's
yeah.
going this
Camera's
way.
pointed over there.
You want to be okay?
Can I
Well,
just stand over here and
You
talk
don't
to you?
have to be on camera, that's fine.
The
Creepy voice from
the
the
most
side.
handsome guy in AOS behind
We're
Catch
making
Me.
guys.
Well, number 2, number 2.
Yeah.
Wait, you put him behind me?
Oh.
He's leaps and bounds.
The competition was there until you went blonde.
And now it's just game over for you. Okay, all right. So we're pulling up chairs here. Should we get Matthew Pashley in here?
Yeah, number one
ITC man?
ITC player right here.
What do you guys filming?
No, they're filming on that. I'm just
Hey, guys.
starting in the chat.
Yeah.
So they're
Hi guys.
Nice.
Talked to
Have
bunch
nice little recreated. We're going to break down all the rounds.
We talked through your all match?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so wait, so tell me, okay,
Yeah.
so I looked at your list.
Oh, you guys questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Played Fire Slayers.
Okay, so I looked at your list, and the only Deepkin list I've seen before, the spam the command ability version.
Right.
And yours is much more diverse, and doesn't seem to be doing
I
that.
mean, I have 21 more Sargar, so it's not too bad. That's a new list.
But you're not stacking you're not stacking attack bonuses.
Yeah.
So how does it work?
The Akelian Tidecaster, the Ishmaelian Tidecaster, he's really like the only character in that army that has a special ability other than the general that adds attacks. So his ability is, if he's your general at the beginning of the game, you can choose to flip the order of the tides. So the tides usually are turn 1 +1 armor save, turn 2 run and charge, turn 3 always strikes first, turn 4 retreat and charge. So when you flip those, it's turn 1 retreat and charge, turn 2 always strikes first.
they don't
So
have
basically
turn 5.
you're flipping it so you can beta strike turn 2 and your entire army gets to strike first.
I see, okay.
And then you're just the entire offense is the Morsar Guard, and they
have how many attacks base?
so they have 2 attacks on their spears, and then they have a bite from the eels, and then D3 tail attack from the eels. So
Okay.
each one averages about 5 attacks.
Okay.
The spears on the charge are 2 damage apiece, right? 2. And the tails or the bites are D3 damage.
So you haven't found that that command ability spam thing to be necessary.
No, they don't need it at all. They hit so hard, and they have the mortal wound burst that they can do at the beginning of their command. It's just honestly like the king is kind of wasted points. It's usually
It feels like a
overkill.
win more.
I've never like every time you put that ability on something, it's way overkill, way overkill.
So
You end up doing like 15, 20 points of damage way past whatever you needed to.
So the other thing you're doing, I guess you're still mid battle line, but you're not taking a king to flip the Morsar Guard to battle line. You're taking your normal battle line.
Yeah.
What role do they play?
So the Reapers are actually kind of cool. So I run the Reapers in 10-man squads. I've been working, kind of looking at running maybe 2 20-man squads of them. So they're normal kind of like battle line range shooting. It's 1 shot apiece, 4s and 4s, like nothing special. If they get within 9 inches, they go to 3 shots apiece. So unit of 10 is 30 shots. They have access to reroll 1s to hit, but basically, the kind of important parts are their base 8-inch movement, and they always have retreat and shoot. So you can move 8, charge something, immediately retreat out of combat the next turn. They also have 2 melee attacks, so they're not even bad at 4s and 3s. Like they do fine in combat. You can charge something, do a little bit of damage, retreat, shoot, and charge something else.
Do you feel like the 140 points is the right price for those?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're 1 wounded piece with a 5 up save, so they're a little bit fragile. But like I said, they're movement 8 based. I don't think anything other battle line unit has movement 8 based. They're very fast. Their range attacks are decent. If you're in combat with something and you're shooting the same thing you're fighting, each one of those models has 5 attacks that can do 3 shots and 2 attacks. Right. I mean, they do quite a bit of damage. The thralls are.
So they're pretty glass cannon, but they're
Yeah,
pretty
the whole army is. The Ishmaelian Guard that ignore Ren with the 4 up save are really the only thing in that entire book that
the
can
Ishmael,
take a punch.
the guard. But you're running all the same one. You're not running 1 unit of each.
Correct.
You're running. That's the aggressive one or the defensive
Correct.
one?
The offensive.
The offensive one. You're not taking the shield ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have a 4 up armor save and 4 wounds apiece. Everything else in the army is like 1 wound, 5 up armor.
Right. Got it.
The Eternal Guard that I run are kind of to supplement that.
They're just efficient.
Yeah. If you put them in cover, they're not going to die. They've I played in the semifinals in LVO against a vampire lord on zombie dragon list. A vampire lord on zombie dragon, full health charge. I think I lost like 6 out of 20 unit. It's a 140 point unit, and he put his 400 point character with relics. Like they just.
So one other weird question.
Yeah.
1960.
Right. So
Are there no casters in this?
just the gem. Yeah, I have one time cast.
Is it, so why take 1960 rather than
Honestly, so the Tidecasters in new edition, the true answer is because I have not had enough time to look into endless spells and practice with them. I ran a king list with multiple soul scryers up until LVO of this year. So 2 months ago. I just haven't.
You just haven't.
Yeah, I just haven't looked into the endless spells. I mean, I like the debuff, the minuses to hit stuff.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a fan of those endless spells. I don't need the damage
Geminids?
output. Yeah. Honestly, since the Warsar Guard, they're such like the central focus of my damage output. I almost kind of prefer getting the reroll to hit and reroll to wound from a triumph than I usually get 40 points down. So it almost like helps more than a spell would usually. Not always.
If you're getting the triumph, that you get one spell. Interesting. Okay. Cool. That's super helpful.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the truthful answer is I just haven't like had the time to look into them enough to implement it and feel like I was using it correctly and not just like walking around it.
So you're taking 2 soul scryers.
Yeah.
Because the redundancy is because.
Yeah, so you can stack the +3 to charge bonus.
I
So
see.
you can get +6 to charge. Also just the usefulness you can get. So you're taking 2 units to 2 separate areas, so you can like the deep strike, board edge, deep strike units from both sides of the board, however you want to do it.
Right.
The way I tend to use the match, which kind of catches a lot of people off guard, I don't usually actually deep strike anything. I deploy everything on the table and then just walk it forward. So the eels have a 14-inch movement. So if you just walk everything forward and you move them 14 inches up and then add 6 to their charge range, they just punch stuff just through the center of the table. It's kind of, I mean, you have 20 inches.
So total commitment doesn't matter a ton for you.
No,
You're ace in the hole.
Yeah. The only downfall is he's going to deploy on the back line and shoot the crap out of
No, why would he do that? That seems so rude. Yeah.
That's probably the one list that I would want to have them on
We
the table.
just split the prize money.
Draw.
Cool. That's super good context. Thanks. Yeah, I was looking at this list and I'm like, I don't get it because I've only ever seen the command ability spam.
Right. Yeah, no, I ran up until just recently. I was running 1 unit of Morsar Guard with the Achelian King, and then some smaller units.
And you just found it to be overkill.
Yeah, I've never when you have probably at least 7 or 8 of them in the unit. There's nothing stands up to that charge other than Mars Guard for surgical. That book is.
Yeah. So hey, so how did that game? So I was looking at that game and I was like, he can't outgrind those dwarves. Like, what did he do? Like, was it just like objective positioning that you didn't?
Yeah. So
here's my guess: that 30 block didn't die.
No, I killed 8 of them. I think 7 or 8 models out of it.
That's about right.
Yeah, so the objectives, they kind of dropped a little bit spread out through the table. So basically, I used the 2 units of Morsar Guard to fight the entire rest of Jeremy's army, and then just fed his Hearthguard. I just corner attacked unit after unit. I'm gonna go take kill him and then corner attack again. So it was just always stuck in combat, kind of in the center of the table.
Okay. Just fed it stuff to.
It doesn't have a retreat charge mechanic. They're only 4-inch move if he tries to retreat. So if I just kind of corner tag with stuff, it'll last when the round comes. It just gets stuck. And he only has 2 units of 10 berserkers.
Yeah, it's like 30, 10, and like a mullet character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't even try and fight it. I just fed it and stuff. I fed all of my models to it in the center of the table, and then just went with my 2 other skills and
Makes sense.
grabbed the objectives. Yeah. I was honestly pretty terrified against that game.
Yeah.
He has priority. My list is 10 drops, so he had turn priority. He gave me first turn. I just moved a couple things. He ran his berserkers up and then double turned, ran them again, and needed an 8-inch charge with a reroll and failed it twice.
Ooh, okay.
Which it's not great odds, but it's one of those things that's probably worth the dice to go for it. He made that charge. It's a very, very different game. But I won that game by 3 points.
Okay.
Yeah, I won 25 to 22.
Okay.
If he made that charge, it would be very, very different because he probably takes the entire 12 man off the table right there. For some reason, the Hearthguard Berserkers are incredibly durable. They have multiple wounds, they can get run and charge, and they do multiple mortal wounds when they attack. Because,
For reasons.
Battle line units need to, 120 point battle line unit needs to be able to do that.
Well, they're not base battle, right? They're
Yeah, if you take the
Yeah, they have everything that they could defensively give us.
Yeah. So basically, when I was like putting my list together, I was talking to Jeremy. So I have 21 more Sargard in my list, and we did the math. Average dice says if I put every Eagle, so 21, into him and swing first before he can do anything, he kills 17.
Maybe you should take a king.
And then he double activates and kills the entire thing.
What if you had a king? Right. No, so it makes more sense to just not engage him and do everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of.
He's gonna be a father.
They're the boogeyman right now. This tournament happened to fall right between the slot of book released, but FAQ hasn't come out yet.
What do you think's going to FAQ?
So currently that 4-up shroud currently.
Yeah.
Any unit that's within 10 inches of a character gets it. So everyone's pretty sure that'll be changed to wholly within because every ability is wholly within for friendly models.
For the new stuff.
The trend is kind of friendly stuff is wholly within, enemy targeted units is just within. So that's usually wholly within. The Hearthguard Berserkers, it wouldn't surprise me if they got one of them. Maybe up to 140 or something.
Yeah, that feels like a July thing, right?
Yeah, probably not in the FAQ. But yeah, so that would kind of be the big one. Maybe I'm not sure, the banner bearers that provide +1 armor save, they currently stack. The way it's worded is from that specific armor. So if you have 2, it's +2 save, 3 +2 save. And it's 100 characters.
Yeah, so Jeremy's only taken one of those.
Correct. So he takes the prayer for a second save it. So his are on a 3-up armor, 4-up shred. Honestly, it's the thing that really makes that army silly is the within 10 inches because he can put his big scary unit in the middle of the table and then hide his character right there and tag it 9.8 inches up and everything. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you're wholly within,
then you have to risk those characters out there.
my Terra guy swings 3 inches on every attack.
Yep.
So you're just
So I think the within 10 is probably the big thing. They have the ability on a natural 6 to hit. They do 2 mortal wounds in addition to other damage, which seems
for reasons
like very unnecessary.
All right.
It should probably be 1. I don't know why it's 2, and also the other damage. Like it seems weird, but yeah, the wholly within and the mortal wounds is kind of a weird thing. They also. Sorry, real quick, I need to ramble. They have a couple things that are kind of weird using Lords of the Lodge, and then I believe the Lodge. So they have an ability that allows them to strike first in the combat phase. So you spend a command point, and you can activate your unit before.
And then they go again.
Right. So they have an ability to activate twice. So basically, you can swing twice before you can do anything in your turn or their turn. So it's kind of weird, like. Turn 3 or turn 2 for me when I swing first. So in his turn of that, when I should be swinging first, he can swing twice at me with his unit. When I have always strikes first, yeah. So there's some weird stuff where maybe the wording just needs to be cleaned up a little bit.
that's just the way the game's going. Is
Every codex has had like silly stuff like that, probably for the last 6 months, and the 2-week FAQs have honestly
cleaned up a lot.
Yeah, cleaned up a lot. You hear a lot of times about like power creep and books are way better. I mean, honestly, the top 3 books right now are probably like Daughters of Cain, Deepkin, and Fire Slaves. I mean, you probably put Flesh Reports up there with them, but 2 of those 4 are a year and a half old.
Let's get it in there with that new endless spell.
Oops, blankets.
No, sorry. You had like a week in the sun.
They're terrible. Yeah, but I mean, 2 of the top 4 books are a year and a half old. There's been whatever 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, the Daughters of Cain is just that perfectly balanced army.
They're still super good. Yeah.
They have defense, they have offense, they have movement. They're not the I'm going to strike first and I'm going to wipe you off. They're just very balanced.
They're decently durable. They hit decently hard. They're decently quick. They just kind of they take every box without like overloading. They're really good stuff.
So transition.
Yep.
Who's gonna win between you and Jack?
Me. Jack.
He's a better player.
Fight this. Argue this.
No, I don't know. Honestly,
I'm gonna try my best.
it depends on who you deploys. Honestly,
I should have
as far away from me as you can. Whatever table side you pick, back yourself
Can I
to the
go
corner.
over
Yeah.
here? Okay.
If you get 2 turns of shooting against me, you probably have that game.
Okay.
If I get lucky on some track rolls, maybe not. But yeah, if you can get 2 full turns of shooting before I can get it, you.
And you can tune in and watch that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tune in?
Yeah.
10 a.m.
Maybe like 10:15. It's gonna be a
10:15,
long night.
yes. Yes.
I think we're going back out, so maybe
Let's buy this guy.
like 10:20.
I'm buying
There's
this
your.
guy.
All right. So the alternate strategy, Jack, is if you buy him enough shots,
Yeah,
he
for
just
sure.
stumbles in
Yeah.
tomorrow.
About noon.
Yeah,
You know.
enough maybe like 2.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Like 2.5. We're toast.
All right. So Matt, what list do you not want to play in round 5?
Jeremy's. And I already.
You already played it. Explaining
Yeah,
it.
that was the boogeyman.
That was the boogeyman.
Yeah, that was
Alright.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, the other one we're looking at, Michelson's Zinch, is the other undefeated one right now.
Oh,
that so the I forget what it's called, like my chapter tactics, my enclave for my deacon. So I play Dominating. I get reroll all failed wounds against monster keyword. So his birds reroll once they hit when I charge, reroll all failed wounds.
So he's just playing the one lord, the support lord
Yeah.
change. It's mostly the Zangor block and the Enlightened block.
Yeah, so the he plays the Zangor Coven, the double activate, I believe, right? The battalion.
The Zangor Coven, yes.
Yeah, so he can double activate his 30 Zangor. They can't keep up with my movement really, so I can, as long as he doesn't as long as I don't really make a bad mistake and he doesn't double turn me, it's really hard for him to get a charge off on anything important. I just have movement on him. Turn 2 with running charge, I can move 20 inches in that charge, so it's hard for him to get those big, powerful units kind of into my important stuff. If he double turns 1 into 2 and I made some mistakes, he can punch me pretty hard, but yeah, the bad thing about Zangor is they die pretty quick, especially to like rend 2 spheres. So
on your list, I did see you have the 2 scryers.
Yep.
You said you usually don't deep strike. So what do you take the 2 scryers for?
Stack some plus 16.
yeah, just a plus 6 to charge. I do in some matchups, like so against Jack, for instance, I really would want to deep strike if we weren't playing the mission. That happens to not let me. That
I
would
wish
be
I played that one.
yeah. That would be one that I would really prefer not to. But yeah, it's just for the bonuses to charge. That's also a very dumb mechanic. The way it works is silly, to be honest. So just a quick breakdown. So basically, a Soul Scryer selects an enemy unit within 24 inches. Anyone in range to charge, so anyone within 12 inches of that unit gets plus 3 to charge. So if you have 2 Soul Scryers, you pick the same unit. Then anyone in range gets plus 6 to charge.
Yeah, it feels like he shouldn't stack.
Yeah, if you have 3 Soul Scryers, you're plus 9. Blah blah blah. Right?
I think the first time I played this guy, he played Sure Charge.
Yep.
Which is a 100-point character that somehow
Does
doubles
the same thing with command points though. I mean, so
Yeah.
you even have to use a resource then. I don't have to use a resource. So the kind of silly part is the way that the charge mechanic works. So if I have 12 yields and I double ping a unit, so I'm charging 2d6 plus 6 inches. To successfully complete that charge, I just have to put my first model within half an inch of that unit, and then I can trail them off wherever they want. So like I roll an 8, right? I have 14 inches of movement, so I'm ping 1 model into that unit, and the other 11 go wherever I want them to go.
Yeah, I feel like the concept of deep striking and having plus 6 to charge is a problem.
Yeah,
Because,
it shouldn't be.
like, if you put it on a 6, okay, right? Like the plus 3 to charge, 6 is
Above.
not guaranteed.
Kind of, but they have an inbuilt reroll from their banner. So you have a 6.
Sure, but you can still fail it.
Yeah.
But a 3 rerollable, you cannot.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're not gonna fail a
Snake
3
eyes
reroll.
twice, yeah. It's,
And it just basically it takes what should be I'm skipping the challenges of the movement phase in order to take a risk on the dice,
Right.
and then say, but also I am going to take a risk on the dice.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just kind of there.
It also, like the frustrating part too, is it kind of removes any usefulness that a screen would provide you. Because that 6 inches is enough to just bounce screens. They have fly keyword. Like it just
Wait, tell me why do you ignore the screen?
well, so if you screen your important unit,
Yeah.
and I roll like a normal charge, right, or a 7 and 8, and I'm plus 6, so I have 14 inches of movement. They have fly keyword. I can move over your screen.
But wouldn't the defender just put the screen less than the model width of the unit difference?
It's enough. Still
Yeah,
gonna lock
sure,
yourself
but
in
so the
combat.
mortal wound burst is 3 inches, so you have to have a screen that's thicker than 3 inches.
If you're so okay, so you could say I'm going to take the mortal wound burst and prevent the full attacks.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
okay.
The other issue is the way that the eels, the bases, they're kind of like a pretty skinny ovular base.
So you
pretty,
sideways
it's pretty easy to weave them through where you need. You can when people kind of screen if they're doing like 1 inch coherency, I can like chain link my models together so they're keeping 1 inch coherency like through a screen. Their bases kind of fit pretty well like between other people's bases.
So if they're not actively sort of in counter pile-in range, just to be mitigating that.
The only way to screen is with like more than a 3 inch screen of just like solid bodies, and then you have to have
Then you're
100, 120 models on the table.
Right.
So it's just it's really hard to screen against it. Okay. It's silly. It's like the Fire Stars thing. It probably shouldn't be, but it is. So we use it until they say no more.
Right. Cool.
Well, thank you so much. That was
Yeah.
awesome. That was awesome. Thank you.
Now we know. Good to meet you, man. We actually chatted yet, so.
Great guy.
Are you number 1?
Yeah, still number one.
All right.
Now
But I'm number
time
2.
for alternative.
Yeah, are we done? Ricky, you haven't talked much. You have things to say about goblins and your massive ability to screen with large numbers of bodies?
I don't think that's true. Definitely dropped an entire Stormcast army in his screen.
I just think the goblins are clearly the superior race.
That's never been true.
And that you all are just confused.
All right.
I don't know what else to say. Oh, and trogs are amazing.
That's not true.
Too far.
This is definitely opposite day. So,
All right.
Yeah, thanks for joining
Good.
us. That was awesome. Thank you. See you guys in the morning, 10 o'clock, 15. See you.
Some amount of time.
Yes.